Before we get started with this video, make sure you guys are subscribed. And if you are subscribed, make sure you tap that bell so you never miss an upload. Thank you guys so much for the support, and enjoy the video. What's up guys, 360 Beyblade here, and we are back with another unboxing. Pretty much the final bay for Speedstorm Wave 1 is going to be unboxed, and that is Super Hyperion H6. This is the Hasbro version of Super Hyperion, which was made by Takara Tomy, and it is the bay that the second protagonist in Surge Hyuga will be using. So, overall, this is just your typical attack type. It does feature a disc chassis to kind of make up for the chassis that Hyperion has, but we'll get more to that later. Has a metal driver, and we'll get more into all that later. Here are the parts. So we've got the chip, the layer, the disc chassis, the driver. There are the stats, and its gimmick is fused attack power, kind of like what Colossal Helios had written down for its gimmick. But that is going to do it for the box, and now let's get right into opening this bay up. Alright, so we have the parts all laid out, starting with the launcher and the ripcord. This is pretty much going to be your standard Speedstorm launcher. It's a little small for my hands, but for someone with smaller hands, this might be better. Overall, my thoughts on this launcher are kind of mixed. But now let's get into the actual parts of the bay, which I know that's what you're actually here to see. Get the launcher out of there. So let's start with the driver. So here we have Exceed Speedstorm, and it does have the metal into the driver. So, like all bays for Speedstorm, the drivers are going to be a little bit taller, and select drivers will have metal. So here's a quick comparison to the actual Exceed. And if you guys can't tell, it is a little bit taller, but that's actually not where the differences end. Normally, that would be kind of it for the drivers, but the performance tip, while it does have that free spinning plate, this piece in the middle is not rubber. The actual Exceed driver does have this yellow rubber that makes Hyperion really fast around the stadium, and with this being plastic instead of rubber, it's probably not going to move as fast. So, little bit of a downgrade, but what are you going to do? Next, we have the disc chassis, and we will compare it with the 1A chassis from Super Hyperion as well. Obviously, with them being side by side, you can definitely tell that there is a massive difference in terms of size and weight. The 1A chassis is definitely much bigger and bulkier, while the disc chassis, while it is cool, it is much lighter and smaller. Now let's move on to the final parts, and that is the chip and base, or chip and ring. So obviously you can remove it just like that, pretty much how GT worked, only you need to kind of pull these apart in order to get the chip out. You don't want to really be forcing it out because you will break off these little pieces on the edges. Here's the QR code. There you guys go. Scan that for your game. I'll have another QR code for this up later if you guys just want the QR code for your game. The rings or layer base seem about the same, obviously with no chassis. It has a bit more plastic underneath, but essentially it is the same shape. Not really digging the cloudy gold color. The TT version does look much nicer, and one final difference to note is that you don't have a chip core like the TT version does. TT has this core. Hasbro kind of does the same thing where it's infused and you have these little pieces cut out. It's not as extreme as Hypersphere got because Hypersphere, the core kind of being hollowed out a bit, didn't look all that great. But that is pretty much going to do it for all the parts. So now let's go ahead and test the slopes. Okay, so the slopes are pretty decent. They're not too tight, but they're not too weak either. So, I mean, that's pretty much all we have for the bay, and the only thing left to do now is do some test battles with it. So that is going to do it for this unboxing of Super Hyperion H6. Unfortunately, we didn't do any test battles with it, but to make up for that, we will be doing a 4-way battle between Satum, Helios, Roctivore, and this Hyperion later down the line. And there should be a lot more battle videos coming fairly soon because as of recent, really the only videos we've been doing on this channel are unboxings, and I know a lot of people like to see battles, so we will try to get a lot more battle videos done in the near future. But that's pretty much all I have for you guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, smash that like button, and really the only other thing to do, I mean, you can share it, but really just subscribe. We're sitting at like really close to the 500 number. It would be amazing if we could actually hit 500. And just looking at my analytics, 92% of you guys are not subscribed who watch my videos. So if you like this and you like me, definitely subscribe. But that's pretty much all I have for now. And until next time, I'm 360 Beyblade, and I'll see you guys in my next video.